Hello, and welcome to another Franchise Hockey Manager stream. My name is Adam. I am the community manager of Franchise Hockey. With me, as always, is FHM producer Jeff, who is about 30 seconds and an update away from joining us. So he'll just suddenly pop on and join us. And we are happy and excited to finally show you, if you haven't already started playing yourself, Franchise Hockey Manager 4. We are currently in the stage of the public beta with the release coming this Friday, October 6th. And we're very excited. On Twitter, I was polling people to see what we should do first, and the overwhelming suggestion was let's go and do Vegas. Jeff, I believe I see and can hear you typing, so I'm assuming you are there now.
I am there. We're on the air, I assume, so I can't start swearing?
No.
Okay.
That would not be good.
I just ran into a little problem. Something strange is happening with the line selection for certain players only. I don't know why. The game hates John Tavares and Claude Giroux for some reason.
All right, so we're going to get started anyways with our Vegas campaign because we're excited. And yes, and again, this is a public beta.
Awkward day to be doing that, but yeah.
It's a public beta, so things can happen. But that's why we're having this beta period before the official release Friday, right?
Yep.
And the Steam release will be on Friday.
Hang out here with you guys and take whatever questions I can, at least until I finally pass out from lack of sleep. It's been a long night.
I would imagine. So we're starting off. You can see if this is your first time seeing or getting information on FHM4. We have added several new leagues, including Austria, Belarus. The third tier in Finland was not there, correct? That's new this year.
No, that's always been there. Poland, Denmark.
Okay.
Yeah,
France.
National League, and no, France has always been there, and the North American League in Quebec.
Yes.
The Goon League.
Yes. All right, so we will keep all the leagues going and continue. All right. So we have challenge mode. Jeff, what is challenge mode? I mean, we've got a bunch of writing on the screen. People can read it for themselves, but in short term, it is...
Yeah, that's it. That's basically what Path to Glory was last year. If you want to put some voluntary restrictions on the way you can enable challenge mode. And the other thing that will also let you do is you can see there's a login link at the top of the screen. Adam hasn't logged in there yet.
No.
And probably shouldn't, because we don't want to be creating his account on a live stream.
No.
But if you're logged into that and you have challenge mode on, you can log your scores to our website, and you can compare them to other people. I think I don't know if it's implemented for us yet, but out of the park you can get a little banner thing that attaches to your forum profile.
Yeah, I'm going to leave this off right now. We're going to not do challenge mode right now, and we're going to put in our name of our manager. So who should our Vegas manager be? What should
I'm going to go with Wayne Newton.
I was thinking Frank Sinatra myself. Mr. Frank Sinatra.
Anything but Celine Dion.
Well, yes. I'm trying to. Who else was in the Rat Pack? I'm drawing blanks on names. All of a sudden.
Sammy Davis Jr., Dean Martin, Peter Lawford.
We will be Dean Martin. I like Dean Martin.
Dean Martin. Okay, I can go with Dino. Yep.
Okay, I got an extra letter in there. We don't need a nickname for him. He's going to be Canadian, and he's going to be from... Let's put him from Vancouver. He was born in 1980, let's say 83. In September.
Question chat about Path to Glory mode. It was limited to 25 years before. No, there's no upper limit unless... no, I'm pretty sure there's no upper limit on the challenge mode now.
Yeah, your game could continue to go, but you couldn't continue with the same manager.
That's right. You had to retire and start a new one. That's right.
Yes.
I don't think that's in there anymore.
All right, so we are starting off as the general manager and head coach of the Vegas Golden Knights. We can be fired, because why not? That always adds a little bit more fun. And as soon as you click Vegas to hit start, you get the setup as manager. Since you've chosen the expansion Vegas Golden Knights, you can start with their actual opening right roster or opt to redo the expansion draft and select your own players. Well, we want to select our own players, I think, right, Jeff?
I think so.
So we're going to redraft this Vegas roster.
Yeah, and then it'll take you to your usual set up your manager screen where you can...
where we'll be offensive and super physical.
A few seconds behind you here.
Yeah. We will be balanced, and we're going to be old-time hockey, which just gives us a variety of ratings. You can change them yourself, but old-time hockey is always a good one.
And as we're heading into the expansion draft, I'll explain a little bit about how that works. It's pretty much a redraft exactly as it would have worked on the day of the expansion draft. So the guys that were available to you then, or were available to Las Vegas on that day, are the ones you'll be choosing from in this draft. So that will exclude a few guys, because the way it worked, Vegas, if they wanted to, there were guys who were unrestricted free agents who were exposed in the draft. If they had wanted to select one of those guys, they had a few days beforehand to try and arrange a contract with them. If they couldn't get it done, they weren't able to select them in the draft. So you're not able to grab guys like Kevin Shattenkirk, who was exposed as a UFA in the draft, since that little period where you would have had a chance to deal with him has passed already.
No, but our roster isn't empty at this point either, correct?
Yeah, you've got your draft picks, and we also start you with the actual free agents that Vegas signed in the offseason.
Yeah, so we have.
It's just a little that we would have. It would have been nice if we could figure out a way to work around that and start you right back at the start of free agency. But unless we totally undid every offseason move, it wouldn't have really been fair to you. You would have been at a big disadvantage for signing players.
Yeah.
So you do get the guys they wound up in real life. So Shipatrov, the Russian, and the other assorted free agents they were able to pick up. So you've got a little bit of a roster to begin with.
Well,
but this the expansion draft lets you fill that out a bit.
Do they not? I think
Say again?
They also have Marcia Show from Florida who came in trade. Or did he?
Yeah, trades as well. Yeah.
All right. Again, if you have any questions, this is going to be the time to ask with Jeff here.
Yeah, before I fall asleep. The one thing you can see, the game, we've changed the look of the game a little bit. We've got that thicker font that's originally was used out of the park baseball. It seemed to be pretty popular over there, so Marcus strongly suggested we use it in here.
Yeah. And
it takes a little getting used to, but once it's it's strange to go back to FHM3 for me now and see if that skinny non-bold font looks weird.
Definitely looks different. Again, it takes a little bit of time to get everything set up because the game is generating thousands of players as we selected all the leagues.
Yeah, we've got. I wasn't watching when you set up, but I assume you took all leagues active.
I did,
all
yes.
Leagues active. Yeah. Okay.
So it can take a few minutes to get done.
Yeah. Testing. It's going to be a fairly rough first season for Vegas. In the testing simulations we've done, generally they finish somewhere between about 52 and low 60s maybe points. I think I saw them tie either Arizona or Vancouver once for to get out to last place in the Pacific, but other than that, they're generally right at the bottom of the league.
All right, so we've generated in. Just taking a quick look at our personnel, and we can see we have a number of good coaches, decent trainers, and we have a pretty decent-sized scouting staff. So we'll maybe leave everything kind of as it is and see what happens.
Chat question about the OHL under-18 draft they added this year. We've got the results of that draft in. We were trying to get it to work with the game a little while ago. It's a bit of a problem right now having two drafts that are essentially targeting the same player pool for one league. So we've got it deactivated for the moment. We're still going to try and figure out a way to make that work. Because we're going to have to do it at some point because the USHL, if we ever get that working, has a similar situation. But it's not active in the game right now.
Yeah. I have currently for the codes to pop up. That should be fine right now, right? Like on the news
Which
articles,
codes?
like
Oh, you got
yeah,
Matt. The reason you're seeing the 248-2225
yeah,
is Adam's playing in debug mode, and it's when you got that on, it will just give you. There's a few things that will show up that won't be in a normal game. That just make it a little easier for us to find problems if they're reported.
yes. So we're gonna
I'm
leave them
sitting
on
in the
for
same one
now.
right now, but you won't see that in a normal game unless you actually go in there and turn into the start options and turn debug mode on yourself. It doesn't really do anything extra for you. It just makes tracking a little easier and creates a trace file that we get at the end of the game that we can look at if we have problems.
All right.
Swedish Game Freak question in chat about scouting for historical mode. Don't think we changed anything that big for historical scouting. We did a few minor changes to the way a scouting works, or the scouting reports are displayed. But the one big thing for scouting, you can put guys on assignment permanently now. So that is kind of a nice thing for. I know a lot of people just because they weren't able to do that, they didn't like resetting their outs constantly and setting them out on a new assignment every few months. You can put guys on a permanent assignment, and that way you can be a little more proactive with your scouting. You can handle that yourself now instead of having to put your assistant in charge of scouting just because you don't want to be constantly doing those reassignments.
Yeah. All right. We
Okay,
have
draft time.
yeah. So who do you think
But
can?
before we start this, we should say that you got to remember the rules here. Uh, the You're only allowed to select one player from each team.
Yep.
So if you're taking, I know Saban out of Boston, that means nobody else. You can't get any of the other Boston guys. So it's generally a good idea before you take somebody to sort by team, which is actually showing the team rights there, which is the one you're concerned with, and that lets you know who else you're giving up on by taking that player.
Okay. How do I sort by team then, Jeff?
Just click on call. Let's say we're going to look at Boston there and want to see if Malcolm Subban makes sense, or if there's somebody else, a skater, maybe we may want to look at. And you're forgetting you're lagging a little bit. You're just a bit behind me.
A little bit ahead of you, I think.
It'll take. You're a little bit ahead. Yeah, you're.
I don't really see anybody other than Malcolm Subban. We're not going to really lose anybody there.
If I was thinking, I would just open this up on my own screen that I got here. Yeah, Subban, not like Boston, really has a ton of other good guys available, so he's probably the best available choice there, I would say, for us, unless we've got other plans for goal.
I'm thinking we take Picard and take Subban as our 1-2 punch. What's your thoughts?
Two relatively young guys. Wondering if Subban's going to be at least a year or so away developing.
Yeah, but then we could grab somebody else too, right? We have to take 3 goalies. Well, we don't have to, but we could.
Yeah. No, actually, I think you are. Yeah, I think it is limited. You have to take 3 goalies. If I remember right, that was the actual draft rule.
All right, we're gonna take Subban.
And
I'm picking him.
Yeah, okay, Subban for sure. That's wondering if you can maybe grab. Well, there's a bit of a gap between. There's Mrazek, but we took him in the Detroit game that we were playing last year with FHM3, and that didn't really go well. So maybe we want to stay away from him.
We didn't take him; he was the goalie, and then
he was the goalie. We got rid of him.
Yeah.
Cam Ward might be an option for a single year.
All right, we could take Cam Ward as.
I'm just having a look at. There's nobody else jumping out at me from the Carolina guys.
All right, I'm gonna take Picard and Ward here. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, sounds good.
So we'll take Calvin Picard.
You got two young guys. Picard will probably be the back. Can
All right,
probably be the backup this year unless this band comes along quickly. One thing I should mention, we did find a bit of problem with the way goalies were developing. I think it extended back to how it was working in FHM3 as well. So we got that fixed. So there tended to be a bit of a decline in the overall quality of goal once you got about 10 to 15 years into the game. That shouldn't happen anymore.
All right, Matt Dumba as our star defenseman.
Yep. They made a deal with Minnesota in the draft or in the actual draft, didn't they? So that they got something in return for not taking him. But that's crazy not to take him.
So we take Dumba. Should we take one-time Winnipeg Jet and current Buffalo Sabre Zach Bogosian?
You got.
I feel like we should take Calvin DeHaan for sure. Patrol left defense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Who else is from Buffalo? Bogosian. Georges is there, but nobody. And Umark, the goalie, is the only other guy above 2-star potential, but we got goalies already, so I'd say take them.
Okay, we'll take Bogosian. So
got to get your Jets.
Well, so we have 3 defensemen now, 2 righties and a left-hander from this draft. Should we grab Vili Polka from Chicago? No, not. Well, he's 23. Wouldn't be a bad pick.
Other Chicago guy. Unless you wanted to take Marcus Kruger as a defensive forward, but he's not.
I think we build a strong.
No, I think it probably makes more sense to take Polka. You're going to try and go mainly for young guys, I'm guessing.
I think that's kind of an idea. We can trade from strength there. There's a couple questions in the chat too from Swedish Game Freak.
I got the first one about scouting. He's asking what time will the Steam version on Friday go live. When I look in Steam, it's telling me 3 a.m. Pacific time. So 6 a.m. Eastern, and I can't remember offhand what that works out to in Europe. Let me just figure it out. It's 9:20 in Hamburg right now, so they're 9 hours ahead of us. But I think about noonish, depending on where you are in Europe. Early afternoon, most likely.
How do you feel about Ian Cole coming to our defense?
Wasn't there a decent Pittsburgh forward?
Could be.
Could have sworn there was one.
See, I usually just do this by defense and then just figure out my forwards afterwards.
Yeah, but that adds a complication the way they've done it. One.
All right, I'll look.
Brian Rust, that's what I'm thinking. I think that makes a little more sense to wait for him.
Let's grab an Anaheim guy here. I'm just going to do this in order. Should we grab Semi Vatanen on defense?
I'm not seeing a whole lot else there. He is injured to start the year.
But we got extra guys.
He's got the shoulder problem. He's going to be out for about 3 months off the start of the year, but
let's pick him.
I think we can deal with that. It's not like we're going to be contending for a cup. Right.
Arizona does not have very much. So let's take... How about we get our veteran leadership with Brad Richardson?
I'd say I think so. Him or McGinn.
I have to take a defender still. Okay, never mind.
I still had...
I have current round 9 defenders left. Okay, sort me by potential then. We could take Jack Johnson to really solidify our defense on Columbus.
Yeah, he's got that big ugly contract, but it's not like it matters to us. We're going to need to get over the cap floor anyhow.
All right, we'll pick Jack Johnson then.
5 million a
So we need
year
another
for
defenseman.
what's he got left? He's in the last year of his contract anyhow. So
What? Oh, that makes more sense.
it's asking about the expansion draft in chat. Does it it takes place after the entry draft and free agency? It's after the entry draft, but sort of before free agency. It's a little hard to explain exactly, but you'll get the free agents that Vegas actually got in real life, so you're not going to be missing out by skipping the actual free agency that
Okay,
happened.
we need a cheap defenseman.
Okay, you're on to forwards now.
No, we need one more
Oh, you
defenseman.
need
So
defenseman.
I think I'm just gonna grab Ben Sherrod off Winnipeg.
You know Winnipeg, so
Well, he's a two-star ability, two-star defenseman. He's 26. We know what to expect, and Winnipeg doesn't really have anything else we want. I mean, maybe Marco Dano, but it's not like he's actually put up a lot of points.
yeah.
So let's pick Ben Sherrod here. Oh, I still got another one? Okay, Vancouver is pretty much a wasteland, just like real life. So, tell me I'm wrong.
You don't have to rub it in.
Okay, how about we take Lucas Biza here? Feel?
Yeah, that's Canucks weren't real happy about losing him, so
And still
he had a decent season for us last year. Yeah, I think I'd have to look it up. I think it's 12 defensemen. No, that's too many.
That's how many they took, I think, actually. Okay, Tampa Bay doesn't have a lot. So who can we take from Tampa? Should we take... who they got who's a young defenseman?
They actually took Garrett. And,
how about... No, that's...
He's got a big shot, but not much else.
Nothing. Okay, how about Toronto? How about Matt Marchation?
Yeah, I think that would make... Unless you want to try and get Joffrey Lupul healthy.
Picking Marchation. Alright, so now we are finally on forwards. Huzzah, huzzah. So now we can go through the teams and basically just pick the best guy available.
Yep, since we don't have to worry about other positions at this point.
Alright, Arizona still, and Jamie McGinn, I guess.
Yep, and I'm thinking Bobby Ryan from Ottawa for sure.
Okay, we're in Calgary here. How about
maybe a little point just to you could filter out the non forwards using the filter and then just sort by ability or potential.
All right, fine then. I was just gonna say we should take
a little more efficient than going team by team.
Hunter Shinkark. Pick him up.
It was actually waived.
He was.
And made it through waivers. I think we have to maybe take that potential down a little bit in the database.
We'll grab him anyways. Yep. All right, so we're just scanning for left wing, right wing centers. Bobby Ryan. All right, goal scorer. Mikhail Boddicker. Solid 3-star guy.
Yeah, I mean, you can probably put together a couple of, like a decent first two lines, and then after that, it's...
Brian Rust. David Perron, I guess. Might as well take him.
Yeah, haven't been seeing great results from him in the simulations and tests so far. And the other alternative from...
What?
No, I was looking at the wrong thing. No, Gunnarson's defenseman, that's right.
Okay, back. we take Grabner for his goal scoring?
Well, that's pretty much all he does. So if you're going to take him for something, it should be that.
I guess we should grab James Neal because, well, he is actually.
That's kind of a slap dunk. Yeah, he's actually going to be on Vegas.
Let's look at high potential. Okay, Nicholas Jensen. Maybe we'll take him from the Rangers. Oh, but he's in the KHL. I guess that's okay.
Yeah, it's just his rights that are exposed, so that's, yeah.
We don't really need him. We got enough forwards.
There.
Should we grab him? Thoughts?
I'm not sure. It's... What are the... Is that off the Rangers?
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Grab Riley Smith.
I think I'd maybe take Grabner ahead of him.
Grab who?
Grabner.
Grabner? Alright, we got Grabner. Getting into slim pickings here, and we still got more picks to go, so we take Cody Eakin, of course. And I guess, should we grab Thomas Plekanec as a solid depth forward?
Yeah, third line center. Maybe higher. Never know, he might have a little bit left.
How badly? Marian Gabrick's 2 to 3 months away. Should we grab him?
Yeah, I mean, you can play one of the younger guys for the start of the season and just send them down. And
his contract doesn't expire until 2021. No, I don't want him for 4 years.
$5 million for another 4 years of a 35-year-old.
I know. Even I thought of that before I clicked it.
When's the last time the guy played 70 games this season?
I don't know. Let's take Kyle Clifford instead.
I'm looking it up. 2012.
Right? I think that's who we take. We take Kyle Clifford.
Question, Chad. Are you going to play the games out or just sim them? You should probably show at least one. Show the new.
We will definitely show the new stuff coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this is hard. We'll take Riley.
I saw Jay Beagle in there. A good fourth line center, a good face-off guy.
I think we picked. Oh no, he is still there. He's 1.5 stars.
What do you want from fourth line center?
I want Chandler Stevenson more. 23 years old.
Okay.
Let's see. I guess we take Jordan Wheel from Philly.
Also passing up Nathan Walker, the only Australian in the NHL.
Yeah, well, we did. 3 picks left. And it's getting pretty slim. Stefan Nosen. Cedric Paquette.
What teams we got left? Edmonton, Tampa, New Jersey. Edmonton's got to have somebody decent.
Anton Ladder, but he's in the K. Otherwise, it's Yuri Karak. Or do I just take Ladder and
Yakimov and the KHL. What kind of a contract is he on over there?
I'll take Yuri.
He's only.
We'll take Yuri.
He's Landers on a 2-year contract, so you may want to stay that. Yeah.
Okay, down to New Jersey now, and I guess it's going to be Stefan Nosen. Tampa Bay, who was a wasteland before. And we'll take Cedric Paquette, I guess. Unless you think we should take Josh Brown.
Yeah, Carter Ashton wouldn't be a bad pick, but he's in the KHL too, so better take the guy you can actually use.
All right, and we have our new Vegas Golden Knights team. We are way over budget, but we also have some guys who are going to immediately go on long-term IR, like David Clarkson and who's the other contract they ate? Somebody else.
Grigorenko. No, wait, yeah. No. The other Rush, not Grigorenko. What's his name? I should know this.
That put the guys on the. Okay, we're $7 million over right now.
How'd you go over so far?
I don't know.
Grabovski. That's the guy I'm trying to think of. Belarusian, not Russian.
All right, so we want to waive, I guess, Subban and send him down.
Yeah, might as well. And you got our new thing. You can see we're in the off-season here. The number of players limit down at the bottom. There is no number to the right of the slash for your active roster size, so you can keep this whole roster intact during the right up to the start of the regular season. So if you want to try different guys out during the exhibition games, you can do that. That's actually probably why it's showing over budget right now. Once you trim it down at the start of the regular season, I think you'll go under that.
Yeah,
because none of these guys are. It's adding up all these smaller contracts for 15, 20 guys you're not going to use.
I'm just trying to piece together who I want.
Question about shop player feature in chat. We should probably do that at some point. And
how about we put Brad
give you an idea how that works? We can try and get rid of. Yeah.
I'll try shopping Brad Hunt right now. Shop player. Are you sure you wish to shop Brad Hunt? I am sure. And we got no messages on him.
Should have. Yeah, okay, 1 star. Yeah, that's not terrible. It's probably not the best example for a guy to shop.
Yes, but sometimes you want to get rid of those guys. So we're going to send him down. We're going to send Martin Marchation down too, I guess, at some point.
Let's actually try shopping him. He's 2 stars. He may have a shot at somebody wanting him.
And we got some messages. All right.
There we go.
A number of messages. So all the messages come into your inbox. And we'll start. So Montreal is offering a 7th round pick and Charles Hudden.
Question from Chad about training camp. Can you only hold 25 players and send them up and down, or carry more than 25? There's no limit on roster size during training camp now. So anybody, there's you can only play guys that are actually contracted to you. So there's effectively a limit of 50 guys because that's the number of contracts you can have in the NHL. But there is no more 25 player limit in the off season count, and including preseason as part of the.
So we could trade
Ben Smith in the 6th rounder. Not bad. At least want him back.
Not terrible. Brian Flynn in the 6th rounder.
Kyle Bond. Yeah, we're not getting...
Andrew McDonald. Magnus PRV. Oh, no, that's an interesting trade. Get Magnus PRV in a 6th rounder.
That's probably the best one I've seen so far.
Brandon Kitchen, a 7th round pick. And, okay, I think it's going to be... I think it's going to be that St. Louis trade. And we will complete that trade now. So we got Magnus PRV and a 6th rounder for Martin Marchation. We got 1, 2, 5, 6. We'll send Derek England down. Oh, he'll be upset about that, but too bad. There's $1 million gone. Send him down too.
Another chat question. No, there's no pro tryouts during training camp. It's something we were hoping to add this year, but we couldn't really get the changes to the database that we wanted that would be needed to make that working quite right. So that was on the drawing board, wound up getting cut. And there were a few other special contract type situations like that, like loans and so on, that we're trying to make work, but no luck yet.
Yeah. No, don't want to place him on the trade block. So trade block is...
One thing I should mention here, just as you're sending guys down to Chicago, in real life, Chicago and St. Louis are sharing a farm team this year, or Vegas and St. Louis are sharing Chicago as their AHL team this year. That was causing all kinds of problems for roster management for Chicago and for Vegas and St. Louis too. So what I've done is or St. Louis's farm team, since they're the sort of junior partner with Chicago and not sending more than, I think it's about a half a dozen guys that they're allowed to send, their primary farm team is actually Tulsa in the ECHL. Just for now, but what we're going to try and do and get into an early update, if it's possible, is hard code in the changes that are coming to the AHL next year, where I can't remember. I know Colorado is moving up from the ECHL. There's a whole sequence of events where there's going to be enough teams in the AHL to have one per NHL team as a farm team. We're going to try and hard code that in, so it'll switch over after the first season. You'll have the what the future AHL and NHL farm team setup will be. It's not there yet, but for now, St. Louis just has to use the ECHL team as its farm team, which tends to make Tulsa pretty good in the ECHL.
We are now cap compliant.
There we go. Okay. Question about the under-18 tournaments. Will there be news in your news feed about who gets named to the roster? Not who gets named to the roster, but if they play well. No, actually, I think if they play at all during an international tournament game, you should get news about that. I think as long as they're one of your players, you should get that by default. You can also, if you want to, you can subscribe to all the news from an international tournament, and you'll definitely get it then. But you should get reports on your own players playing internationally.
All right, so we're down to 24 guys on a roster. Need one more guy dressed. I guess we will dress the Russian whose name I can't say. Shipkayev?
Yep. Actually, we got a chat question, if you don't mind illustrating this for me, Adam.
Yep.
If you go asking if you can disable international tournament news this year, if you go to manager and manager options, and click on that, you'll see in the bottom left the new news subscription settings.
Yep.
And you can see by default you're just starting with the NHL and the Vegas Golden Knights, and you won't get any international news at all unless it directly affects your players. But if you want, you can click on the Add Tournament button, and it will give you the whole list of international tournaments, and you can choose what news you want to get from them. Maybe it's only specific stories, or you can have all the news. It's a lot more configurable than it used to be.
And there's
you're not going to get your mailbox blowing up during the World Juniors.
Like the Ivan Halinka.
What was that?
I said there's a few new tournaments like the Ivan Halinka is now in.
Yeah, the link is in for Euro Hockey Tour tournaments are in the Deutschland Cup, which is sort of a tournament for secondary level European national teams, but they also occasionally invite the U.S. I think there's a possibility that Canada can go. When it's usually just the teams the U.S. and Canadian teams are mainly just Americans and Canadians playing in Europe. But that's in the Asian Winter Games, which is probably not one a lot of people have heard of, but that's Kazakhstan, Japan, and South Korea. Yep. Pretty much a 3-team tournament. And is that all the new ones? World Cup starts up again after a 4-year interval, and then we got the Underworld Under 17 Hockey Challenge too. It's not technically an official IHF tournament, but It is in there, although we did have to make a small change to the way the Canadian team works. Right now, they split up the Canadian under-17s in real life because it would be a bit of a mismatch if we just had one unified team, but we couldn't do that in the game, so there is only one Canadian team, so Canada tends to dominate that one.
Yeah. One other thing added is this control farm teams, and I just switched it here, is I selected it to use best prospects, but you also have the ounce for balanced or use best players. Since we are young, we want to focus on our prospects.
Yeah, that'll tell your farm team management to put a little higher priority on potential instead of ability when it's deciding on the lineups and the lines.
Yeah. So our roster is basically set at this point. Let's take a quick look at free agents. And Mr. Yarmer Yager still hanging out there being like, hey guys, come sign me.
Yep. Not in Calgary yet, since we're the research deadline that for this database, the database that's in the game right now was, I think, last Thursday night. Yeah, Thursday night, Friday morning. So the player moves in the NHL from the last couple of days aren't in yet. I updated a little bit on the weekend, but Yager isn't in yet. Yager not in Calgary.
Well, that just happened. Should we sign him?
See how much he wants.
Offer contract.
What's your salary cap looking like?
Well, it's 7.2. We do not have the budget to meet this, so no, we're not signing him. Or sorry, 7.4.
That will come down a little bit if you wait him out a little bit. I may sign with the KHL too at that point. Yeah, so question in chat about controlling the farm team settings. Yeah, that you can't totally control the farm team's decisions using that option, but it at least gives you a way to influence them a little bit and say, okay, I want you to play my prospects or just play your best guys to win. And you can change that around at any point too, because if you want to be nice to them, and you can see they're heading into the playoffs and may have a run there, you can have them switch to using their best players the season and get a little deeper into the playoffs and maybe get your young guys experience that way. Oh, you got the number, Simon. That's a fun one with Vegas.
Yes, it's actually not too terrible. There's only one conflict.
Although, yeah, you're not bad because you're not going to have number conflicts because most of those aren't assigned yet.
And we don't have to deal with retired numbers. Okay, so
yeah,
Magnus PRV wants Eric Hollow's number. I'm just gonna.
Normally, you won't be having. You won't be getting this super long list of assigned numbers and playing with most teams at the start of a season. But because we just drafted all these guys, we got to go through it.
I'm going to give him number 55 and see what he says. And he says he's a bit upset. Well, that's too bad.
And we got a little formatting error there, don't we?
Yes.
It's cutting off part of the line. Oh, that's right. No, I put that in the bug report a couple of days ago, come to think of it.
All these guys want their nice numbers.
Question about AI doing the scouting for you. Yeah, I'd say it's fairly efficient. We usually turn that on. We weren't doing manual assignments during the any of our stream games, were we, Adam?
No.
And we generally get pretty good coverage. One thing you want to make sure is that you've got enough scouts hired. If you're still seeing if you've got AI scouting turned on, you had a lot of guys who aren't getting scouted completely. You want to probably pick up a few more people.
And we got to be getting we got to be getting close to finishing numbers. Yes, you can have that number. You can have that number. Radley Smith wants 18, but James Neal already has it. So he's going to get number 19. And he's okay with that.
Yeah, chat question. Somebody besides me making fun of the way you pronounce names.
Well, I can't. When you get to all the exantes and all that other fun stuff, I just can't do it.
Exotic? Not
All
just
right.
names, apparently.
So just leave me alone. All right, so we got Calvin Pickard starting ahead of Cam Ward. No, I don't think so. Gonna flip that. James Neal is on our fourth line. Bobby Ryan is on our second line. Well, we did want to go young. Let's maybe take a look at these tactics. We're gonna change, and I think we're
Yeah,
just
so I
gonna.
think I mentioned this at the start of the show, but it looks like there is some sort of weird little glitch right now that's affecting what it seems to be mainly centers who are kind of more offense oriented than two-way or physical, and it's pushing some of those guys like Tavares. It's Tavares, Giroux, and a couple others. It seems to be pushing them a lot farther down a depth chart than they should be.
All right. Well, quick
Investigating right now, but we're not sure the exact cause. But we'll hopefully have that fixed fairly quickly.
changing the tactics, and Bobby Ryan moves up to second line center. James Neal's on the third line. I'm actually okay with all these. A lot more. I'm just gonna tweak the lines a little bit, try and even out a little bit more ice time. And look pretty good otherwise. All right. And so we will advance. What is the salary cap this year? I'm drawing a complete blank. 78 million?
73, I think it is. No, wait. I gotta look it up. I remember changing it, so it's in the game, but 75.
Okay, so we're still
75, and then you're in the off season, so it'll be plus 10% with the cushion.
So we need to move someone like. Oh, that Bobby Ryan contract is a lot of money. Maybe we should put Riley Sheehan up on shop him. How about we shop Jamie McGinn?
That's a possibility.
Let's shop Jamie McGinn.
Yeah, that'll clear a bunch, and he's got 2 years left in his deal.
All right. Boston's are willing to send Tommy Cross. A 6th-round pick. Don't really want him.
So one problem with loading up all the salary like we've done here, Vegas should be able to spend a lot of money in the first off season and go after some big free agents. So I've seen them do really well in test games doing that, like getting into the playoffs in their second season, if they sign the right free agents and the guys work out okay. But you got to have the cap space available to do that.
No, not him either. Okay, Gabriel Bork's not gonna be getting paid a lot of money. Mackenzie Weegar. All right, how about this? We trade Jamie McGinn to Nashville for Frederick Gauthier and a 6th-round pick. 1.5 stars. Probably send him to the minor leagues anyways. Thoughts?
Sorry, what was that? Had an email I had to deal with here.
Frederick Gauthier from Nashville.
That was for the Sheehan or for McGinn?
McGinn and a 6th-round pick.
Yeah, pretty good.
Basically dumps a contract for us. We don't have to worry about it. And now we are down to 75.67 million. Send down. And now we're at just over 75 million. Which again isn't bad, I think. Thoughts? All right.
Yeah, I think that works. Yeah.
Now, one of the things with standard mode again, as you can autoplay up into a certain event. Since it is early August, we don't have a huge amount to do between now and then, so let's hit sim and let it start simming all the way to the start of the preseason. And we have some unread messages. Oh, and Jaromir Jagr just signs with Ottawa.
Oh, what'd they pay him?
Good question. 6.4. And Corey Crawford hosts a charity golf tournament. So Crawford's morale has improved and his greed has decreased. We can see and you can read through. Nice little story talking about how he's enjoying golfing with a celebrity pro-am. Rick06 in the chat. 026 asks in the check. Also, in major juniors, can you carry 4 overagers from September until the trade deadline in January? Will we be able to see that feature in the future?
Not in there right now, but may be able to do that in the future. In-season roster limit changes are really, really messy for the AI to deal with. It's easy enough to do to have a change limit for a player, but it can confuse the AI, especially when it's basically going to be taking away players from them partway through the year.
Yeah.
Or player slots, at least.
And one more question there for you, too, if you see it.
Yeah, sorry. I got just an NHL email I got to deal with for a second here. I'll be back. Hey, I'm just going to go off for a second. I'll be back quickly.
That's fine. Swedish Game Freak in the chat asks, in FHM3 is really easy to get 4th round picks for almost anyone on the team. Any change on that? There was a lot of work done on the trade AI, especially in terms of looking at higher picks and players who are taken high. Teams now take a lot more priority on them. And we can just take a look here, and Columbus moves Arturi Panarin to Boston for David Pastrnak. Wow, that is a big trade. How about that one, Jeff? And a couple of reports.
What was that one? Say it again.
Arturi Panarin moves to Boston for David Pastrnak.
Wow.
In a mid-August morning.
It's actually something I'm looking at, maybe toning down a little bit the trading between the AI runs teams in the first couple of months of a new game, because it doesn't really understand when it's players who've just been acquired, because it's starting with them in the database, so it doesn't. It may try to move guys that were just signed in real life in the off season. So we may lower the trading frequency through probably August and September of the start of a new game, just for the modern mode, and it won't affect the user any. You'll still be able to make trades, but the AI probably won't make as many trades with each other if we can do it.
Excellent. And we're simming, and we're just about through the end of August now. Hard to believe the actual hockey season is starting right away.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like October yet. Thanksgiving next week in Canada, too.
Yes. Very soon. Swedish Game Freak is also very unsure about the $6 million given to Jagr, considering he just got, what was it, $1 million in incentives?
Yeah, well, he signed a little bit later. In this case, I think he would if Ottawa had waited, they could have got him down a little bit. I didn't really want to crank his ratings down too far because the C tends to decline pretty quickly in the first season in the game. Even though I've boosted his aging a little bit more to keep that from happening, I sort of have to start him fairly high so he makes that high contract demand too. To keep him at a reasonable level through at least one last year for him.
Well,
Because I think we can assume that's probably this is probably going to be it. You figure?
yeah, they said St. Louis did offer him a contract this weekend, but he turned it down.
And if you could spend your winters in Calgary, wouldn't you?
Over St. Louis?
Yeah.
Well,
They
hopefully.
get Chinooks.
Yeah, I guess they do. They do get something like that. Yeah. Unread messages. Some players sign. We have some players get better.
Oh, there we go. And good news. Sebastian just emailed me a second ago. He found the problem with the line selection. It's just some. What is it doing? Oh, there's a. Oh, for the younger players, there was something screwed up. It's that's why it's putting.
Emphasis
Yeah,
on the
that's why
wrong players.
it's favoring guys like over Giroud and Tavares. Yeah, it's wildly giving them too much credit for certain skill levels, certain skills when it's evaluating the lineup. So that's throwing that all out of whack. So
All
that's an
right.
easy fix. We can probably get that done within a day or two.
Excellent. And here
At
you.
least, I mean, we can do it faster than that, but we should be able to get the build out. Hopefully, I wasn't sure if we were going to do a midweek update, but maybe we can.
Excellent. Which means we'll maybe be talking more on our regular Wednesday night stream, which we will still have. I'll be streaming.
Yep.
Well, obviously, right now there'll be another stream tonight where we continue Vegas. There may be a midday stream Wednesday, as well as a regular stream Wednesday night, and then I will be on morning, noon, and night
One other thing,
on Friday. Sorry.
yeah, and I think let me see. Let me see. Hasn't been announced officially yet, but I think I'm safe to announce it. I'm going to be doing an AMA on Reddit, our hockey forum tomorrow. I believe we're starting at noon Eastern time. So if you want to ask some questions on there, come on out and
That's perfect.
talk to me there. And I will also be giving away a few. I think it's 5 Steam codes for the best and top voted questions. Got to double check that. I think it's 5.
Some more guys continue to improve. All right. And we'll just keep getting development reports here as guys continue to improve. And as we get closer, as other leagues start kicking off. And September 9th, 2017. I feel pretty good about where we're kind of sitting. Okay, so we have a new scouting report here. Maybe we should take a minute to look at the scouting report too, since the scouting reports have been redone. As you can see, if you're looking at...
Yeah, reformatted at least. It's just a little... cleans them up a little bit. Looks a little bit more like some of the out-of-the-park baseball reports.
So now we have goaltender, left defenseman, right defenseman, left wing, right wing, center. So everything's a lot more clean, a lot more organized. So if you're looking for one particular type of player, you get a little bit better idea of what's going on. Which I'm not going to lie, I really like. Especially when it comes to that trade deadline, you're looking for someone, maybe somebody to help out. Oh, apparently the title did not change for this video. That's weird. Alright, all the things you notice. But as we continue and get closer, you can again see there is no break in the schedule this year for the Olympics because the NHL players are not going to the Olympics, so there is no break.
Yep, we've actually we weren't sure how that was going to work. We were allowing AHL players to play for a little while in testing, but apparently that's right out too. So, or unless their players are directly contracted to the AHL teams. But NHL contracted players of any type are not in the Olympics, so it generally does not go well for Canada or the U.S.
Okay.
Much better for the Russians.
There's a question in the chat. Rick 0026 says, when doing preseason, can you schedule tournaments during training camp like they do for prospect tournaments for the NHL? Say schedule a tournament, say Monday to Friday, and have 4 games in 5 days or something like that?
Nope, not possible right now. I've had a design for prospect tournaments sitting on a desk for. I've been trying to get it into the game for about 3 years now, I think, and I keep rewriting it, and it keeps getting cut and doesn't quite fit in. But at some point, I'm going to make that work, and you'll be able to. And teams will have be able to have proper prospect tournaments. So Winnipeg, like the one in Penticton that I never get to go to, even though it's 45 minutes away from me because it always happens in the middle of the pre-release schedule.
So Winnipeg can go kick Vancouver up and down the ice for a little bit?
Yeah. Enjoy it while it lasts.
Oh, I will. Preseason starts, so we need to set our captains. So we'll go roster info, mental ratings. Take a look at our leadership, and Thomas Plekanec seems to be the natural, probable choice for leader. Thoughts?
Yeah, that seems like the logical one to me, I think.
So he is our captain. James Neal and Calvin DeHaan as assistants.
Neal, yes. What's DeHaan's leadership? Is that particularly high?
He's the next guy up after the goalie. 15.
Hang on. What are the determinations looking like? Because that's
16.
Leadership that determines whether or not the captain will make a difference in certain situations. Game performance is one, and there's a few others. But determination is what tends to influence the strength of that. Of the effect, Rust is pretty high, but he's only got 13 leadership. DeHaan looks like the best balance, I think.
Yeah. Question from the chat. FHM and hockey in general. I'm new to FHM and hockey in general. So forgive my question, but scouts assigned a league that comprises other than the NHL, how do you bring in decent prospects for your scouts to find in those?
How do you bring in the decent prospects your scouts find? Well, if you're playing the NHL, the main way is pretty much for 90% of those guys, 90 plus % of those guys, it'll be the entry draft at the end of the season because It's not like, say, soccer where you can sign whoever you want off from youth teams, or well, I know it's a little more complicated than that, but it's a lot easier to find players, to get your players you scouted and just add them to your team. In the NHL, they have to in June all the 18 to available 18 to 20-year-old players get selected. So that's where most of your scouting energy is going to go into. I mean, you've also got scouts looking at current players. So if you want to look at the prospects for another team, you can point them and have them look at the American League and get an idea of how good the players, or a better idea at least, of how good the players on other teams are, which will help you in trading a little bit and getting good value out of those for when you want to make a trade for one of those guys. But the biggest part of bringing new players in is always going to be the draft.
All right, I am going to play this game. And so you can see there's a bit of a new setup here. Kellen Picard's kicking us off, and we're getting beat by San Jose in just about everything, so that's interesting. And if I just click play, you should be hearing some crowd noise.
Take your word for it, because I'm not hearing it through mine. I've got the sound turned off on the stream, and I can't hear it. I don't think I get it back through Discord.
And we've taken 2 penalties. Perfect.
You can see we've rearranged the screen a little bit. If you want to stop for a second, Adam, and go into the options, you can see all the different. We brought back a lot of the stuff that was in FHM too.
Yeah.
As far as how you replay the game.
You can change your clock speed, your play-by-play speed, average highlights, full highlights, many highlights, whatever you want. Game stoppage, break for penalties, whatever, break for injury, break for goal, change. Show puck location, so you can see everything kind of going on as it is. I know the crowd noise is fairly loud. Maybe that's a little bit better for you. Yes, no?
And yeah, the crowd noise is pretty simplistic at this point. We basically got the goal horn and a few crowd variations, but we finally got sound in the game, so we will be adding more to that. One thing I want to get in next year for sure, when we're probably going to be doing a big interface redesign for FHM 5, and I'd like to get sound in there so you get that nice little clicking noise when you...
They can probably hardly hear you at this point, Jeff.
Oh, you got the sound down. Okay.
No, I have the sound.
I'll wait until you...
It's just coming through fairly loud, but you're on the same... If I turn it down, then I'm turning you down.
Okay, I got you. I'll explain after.
So you can see, though, it looks quite a bit different. We haven't got a shot on net yet, 6 minutes into the game. as you may or may not notice, I'm actually choosing there who I want to send out on the ice. You don't have to do it every time. The computer can do it, but you can do it yourself as well. Just going to turn that play-by-play speed up to fast. And sim to the end of the period. And we got outshot 14-3 in the first period. I'll sim through period 2. And Bobby Ryan scores the first goal in Vegas night history. Assisted by Eric Hull and Michael Grabner. We're up 1-0. And then Brent Burns scores, tied up 1-1, just over or under 10 minutes into the second period. But then Vadim Shipyard scores to make it 2-1 Vegas. And we finally start coming into our own, putting up 13 shots now to their 19. Question in the chat from Mick Pringle: how would you address the PP deficit? More often than not, it would be just looking for different guys to fit on the line, or what tactics we're using. So you go to strategy, and you can look at your power play and go, okay, can I change any of these to try and maybe get a little bit better fit? But we're also new to our tactics, which is going to directly affect what's going on.
Yeah, it's going to take a while for the team to get a little in, to get good with the tactic.
Which is why we're seeing like one out of ones.
Do I have to yell now, or am I...
You're probably not super loud, but...
oh, okay. I'll let you get through the game.
Mick Pringle says
stuff I'm dealing with here too. So.
11 out of 50 is the worst. Well, we were -1 in one of our games in FHM 3.
Oh yeah, you can get worse.
-11 actually is not that bad. Yeah, we were -1 when we were playing with Team Iceland. Let's take game stoppages off there. There's a goal horn. 2-2. Mark-Edward Vlasic. Pickles scores a tie. Oh, right now we're actually Vegas 1 to San Jose's penalty kill, which is 37. Swedish Gamer Freak, as we said, some of it is just the new tactic. Guys aren't new, or they're new to their roles. CSI 312, thanks for coming on. But our new roles and new tactics, we're going to have a lot of growing pains. And this team is not bad, but not great either. But for us to have success, we're going to need our goalies to come out and pull them.
Chat question, can you transfer beta saves that you're playing right now to the official release? Yep, those will work, no problem. We're not going to change anything in the database to prevent that between now and then.
Yeah, your beta saves...
Although you would, you still, I mean, we're going to probably do an option update out early next week at some point.
Jeff,
updated opening night rosters.
Just killed whatever you said, so 3-2, okay. Vegas just scored with 3 minutes left.
Okay, pause it for a second if you can.
Okay, game over. We lose 3-2.
Okay, yeah. Right, so I can talk normally now.
Okay, we still got a little bit of noise. Here's the new post-game results. You can see who had a good game and who didn't have a good game. And the 3 stars. Nice clean sheet, just kind of gives you an idea of what's going on. Okay, sound is over now, Jeff. There you go.
Yeah, what I was going to say is your save will transfer over no problem to the release version on Friday, but we'll probably be putting out a new version or a new update early next week that will have the actual opening night rosters, because we're not going to know. I mean, we'll probably have a pretty good idea of what they are in the next couple of days, but it's going to take a little bit of time to get them into the game, so we won't have them exactly matching opening night on release day, which is also the same day as opening night. So if you want to hold out a little bit for the actual starting rosters, Jagger with the Flames, et cetera, the update with that'll be coming next week as early as possible.
All right, so nobody played particularly bad, which is a good thing, but we did have some noticeable defensive game ratings with James Neal at a 46, Cody Eakin at a 42, David Perron at a 43, and Brian Rust at a 49. So not great, but overall not a bad first game. So our salary cap is changing to $75 million. We need to lower it. We are currently just $3,000 over. Basically, we can fix that by sending Magnus PRV down. And I'm going to put Riley Sheehan on Shop Now and see if we can get any offers for him. And we do. So Boston is offering Justin Hickman, a 7th rounder, Greg Pattern, and a 6th rounder. We're going to pick up Ryan Reeves. Wade and Megan. Yaroslav, Braden Christoph. Nobody really popping out who I think we need to grab. But who could we get who's maybe already in the minors? Or what's the highest draft pick we can get? We could grab another 6th-round pick. How do you feel about that? Or take a 7th rounder and take a Russian defenseman.
We've already started. Actually, if you go, have you looked at the team info screen yet? The new one?
No, just give me I need to make a trade here, so.
Yep.
To make sure.
I just want to show you. We can show off that screen and also demonstrate how many picks Vegas has stockpiled already.
All right, we're going to make this trade with New Jersey. Okay, so what do I want to go to here? Jeff?
Up on the team screen or team menu,
yeah.
It says team parentheses info. Click on that.
All right.
And that will give you the new, just doing it in my game here, the new team info screen, which it's just a nice collection of all your data in one place where you can. Always annoyed me that I had to go to various different things to look up, say, the arena or the farm teams. And here it's got the new uniform number retirement system in there and your draft picks that you can see, which is why I wanted to look at it. And you can see all the ones we don't have George McPhee and then us have stockpiled so far.
We don't have a 3rd or a 4th this year. I guess I'll have to fix that.
Yep, but we got plenty of 2nd rounders in the next couple of years after that.
Yeah, but no 3rd or 4th.
3 in each of them.
All right. Adam will have to get to work later on in the season on that. Let's just skim through a little bit more here. So we'll sim this next game versus Colorado. We'll give Picard the night off, put Ward in, and sim it. And we lose 3-2, because of course we do. Cam DeHaan and Cam Ward had good games. Oh, we lost in a shootout too. Alright, so actually a pretty good game overall for us. And Ben Sherrod is getting better at rate defense. Excellent. Honestly, I'm not really expecting us to win very many games this year. I don't even remember.
If you hit 60 points, call that a win.
If we hit 60 points? If we don't get fired.
Yep.
That's more what I was thinking.
The good news is you're almost definitely going to be the GM of the year because there's a little glitch in the way that's awarded now for expansion teams. And unless you do really, really, really badly, probably going to be get considered the best, or unless somebody else has a really great year and had a really bad year the year before, you'll probably get that award. It's just assuming when the GM of the Year award is mainly based on how much you improve the team over the previous season, and I think the starting values for what counts as a previous season for an expansion team are way too low right now.
Okay, Jeff, we got a little bit.
So you're going to get a free award this year?
We got a little bit of an error here. Because Dave Haxtell is being praised for his great play in the Philadelphia camp by head coach Nolan Patrick.
Okay, well, I mean, if Patrick wants to coach, he's our number one pick. Let him do what he wants. Hang on, I'm going to open up the storyline interface. And what was the title? Oh, praise for... So you would think this is the sort of thing that the guy who updated the text in a lot of these storylines would have caught, wouldn't you?
He's got nothing to do with that.
Oh yeah. It only directly involves that. Adam, we were when this. That's the news item that we just were looking at is one of the new storyline features that we brought over from out of the park, and those naturally needed a lot of adjustment from the baseball versions. So Adam helped us out with rewriting a bunch of these.
Oh, wait, what did I do?
I see why there's no. Okay, that one. No, all right, I'll admit to it. This is actually my fault. I've got the
Aha!
wrong order here.
Ha ha ha. I don't want to control my farm teams,
It's
but I want them to tell who to play.
actually. Can you go back to that for a second? I want to.
Yeah, it's messed up
I
on everything.
don't understand what it's doing here.
See, so you get some live. As we said, it is a beta. We're still fixing the odd thing that squeaks through, like a random storyline where the coach is playing. What do you want to know about this storyline, Jeff?
What? I just waiting for it to show up on the screen. I just want to read it. This doesn't really make sense the way it's looking to me. It's because it's the way it's written, the way it's in the storyline engine right now. It should actually be using the same name in both places instead of switching them. But then
It's also
I'm just
using
going
it
to try rewriting it.
in the fourth or second and fourth paragraphs.
And it's saying. Okay, yeah, so that's got to be number 2. That's got to be number 2. Okay, that's good enough. Yeah, I think I've got it figured out.
Okay. Well, anyways, interesting things do happen, so just take an image of that in case I forget to look, and we will sim through this game again. Also, good news is so far nobody's been badly
Actually,
hurt.
guess what? It's neither one of our faults. It's a glitch in the editor.
All right.
It's listing person number 1 when it should be person number 2. So that is totally not either of our faults.
So
I blame Andreas, who made this thing.
yeah, that's good. Pass it on. We lose 4-0
He's my boss. I can do that.
in the preseason, so interesting.
Still don't really understand why it's not using the same name in both places. I can fix that too.
All right, game versus Florida. Could this be our first win of the year? It is.
Oh, actually, I got to ask you to go back to it one more time. I want to see if it's what it's doing farther down in the story. I didn't realize how long that thing is.
We lose 9-2 to Florida because of Jeff. We were outshot 43-16. Ouch. Ouch. Okay, storyline.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you need to know?
Go right down to the very bottom of it.
It says Hackstall's morale has improved.
Yeah, and then above that, I'm just waiting for it to pop up on my screen, get caught up here.
Dave is just the kind of investment good bankers make.
Almost there. Okay, that's good. Hang on the screen just a second.
Okay, Mick Pringle in the chat asks, can you save lineups, etc. in this version so that when you change his force throughout injury, it's easy to revert when that player returns?
This is really weird. Okay, thanks. I saw what I needed. I think I'm okay now.
Okay.
Can you save lineups so you can... You can't. No, there's not a way to save them right now. But what we did add this year is a feature, and you can, I guess, show them at.
Yeah.
Easy enough, Adam.
So say Brian Russ gets hurt. Oh no, he got hurt, and I need to. Actually, wait. I don't have any extra forwards. Okay. Let's pick a defenseman. Oh no, Shea Theodore got hurt. I need to get rid of him out of my lineup. I can come over here to Lucas Biza, right click on him, and click on. Oops, my bad. I want to go to Theodore, right click and say replace with, and replace him with Spiza. And Spiza now shows up wherever Theodore did. Which is an excellent quick way for us to get him into the lineup. And I can go back and I can go Spiza, replace with Theodore. And then Theodore's back in the lineup. Exactly where he was. So that's pretty cool. just even a little more ice times here again. And yes, McPringle, it is really nice. Thank you for reminding me to show people. It's a really simple thing to do, but very nice to be able to throw guys around. Especially if it's a day-to-day injury. Game versus Ottawa. Again, we're just going to sim this here quick, and we lose 4-3 because, yeah, lose it in the third period. Eric Hall has converted to center. That's good. If I look at my strategy, tactics, we're up to 2 stars and shoot the puck and 2 stars in the 1-3-1. So that's good. It's going to be a while for us before we start getting really good. And you know what? Let's get up to the start of the regular season, then we'll probably call it for this afternoon stream. And sim again, and we lost 3-1 to Vancouver. Oh man, everything is really going wrong, huh? As far as lines go, we can select players that play. However, let the AI coach the games and such as training camp and whatnot. Yeah, you can let the AI do as much as you particularly want. Ottawa. Alright, Cam, win us the big one. Ah, we lose again. Nobody from Vegas is having a bad game, I guess, so that's always a good thing. But Ben Sherratt just got hurt, and he's day-to-day. So perfect time for us to use Lucas Biza and put him in for Ben Sherratt. Now, I was bugging Jeff earlier because did you know today in Vancouver Canucks history was the day they named...
Oh, you have to go here, don't you?
Of course I did.
You even waited until you waited until you heard the typing stop, so you knew I was paying attention.
It was today in Vancouver.
The 20th anniversary of Mark Messier being made the captain of the Canucks. There, you happy?
Yes, and you wanted it commemorated by releasing FHM4 public beta.
Thank you.
Right? That's what you told me.
Sure. That's what we did. Yep, that's absolutely why we did it today.
I am 99% sure that's what you told me. Between that and the Mark Messier is the best Vancouver Canuck ever. I think actually.
Yeah. I got his jersey hanging up.
Gamer Goalie wanted to send you, or / Holy Goalie wanted to send you his jersey. Semi Vatanen is ready to resume skating. That's a big boost for our defense if he gets healthy. 2 weeks.
Oh, so he's back fairly quickly. Not bad.
We have nobody who needs to clear waivers. So we'll also have to keep watching the waiver wire in case anyone interesting shows up.
Yeah. We did totally rebuild the way waivers are evaluated this year. If you remember our Adams and I, the streams we did for, I don't know, it was the Detroit one in particular last year, or this year, I guess, with FHM3, there's a problem where Adam was able to keep stealing young defensemen off of other teams because they were getting put on waivers when they shouldn't have been. We rebuilt the way the game evaluates NHL waivers, so there isn't that little loophole that those guys are slipping through anymore. So we've taken that away from you.
Well then, and they were putting them on waivers for the purpose of buyout too. So that was.
Yeah, I think that was part of it too. It was treating them as waiver eligible, and that was confusing the AI in a few different ways.
Yeah. Oh, so we did put Malcolm Subban on waivers. I didn't think it said we had anybody.
Oh, I wonder if he's got clear.
And Vili Poca's on waivers.
Did it not warn you that those guys were going to be on waivers?
It didn't show up in the message. Brendan Leipzig is on waivers. Should we grab him?
I wonder if there might be something wrong with the expansion teams in that message. We'll have to check that.
Oh, and Magnus PRV's on waivers. Didn't say that either. I'm going to put an offer in on Brendan Leipzig. Because he really did come to Vegas. Let me just take a quick look here at upcoming free agents. Okay, we got a ton. I want to sign Matt Dumba, so let's renew his contract. He wants $2.9 million. Yeah, we can do that. 4 years. Sign. Let's just leave everybody else for... Oh, what is it? Okay, Picard doesn't want much, so we'll sign him too. Everybody else will just kind of let it work out as it does. And we officially have passed DLS87. Hey guys, is there a place on your forum or any other forum out there for FHM where people share tactical ideas and experiences? I think the best place probably is our official forums at ootpdevelopments.com. Would you disagree?
Yeah, the general forums or there's the Steam forums. I mean, we're watching on both of those.
Yeah. But if you're looking for someone in specific, I would say probably that would be a good spot to start. And yeah, that warning farm team did not have anybody on it, Jeff. All right, so we have got to the very first game of the season. We got Brendan Leipzig now, so he is our 13th forward. And Brian Elliott gets traded to Carolina for a third-round pick. Carolina must be upset that we took away Cam Ward. And the first games of the season are played. And we come to Vegas at Dallas. Well, let's play this game. Alan Picard leads us out. And we will sim to the end of the first quarter. And it's 1-0 Dallas. 2-0 Dallas. Oh no, 3-0 Dallas. 4-0 Dallas. 4-0 Dallas at the end of the first quarter. 6-0 Dallas. 7-0 Dallas. 8-0 Dallas. Jeff, help.
Oh, this is my fault somehow?
Yes. Eric Hall finally scores the first goal, regulation goal in Vegas' history.
He broke the shutout at least.
Well, look at this, though. It's 8-1, and the shots are 24-22. So we're giving up a goal like every couple shots. That's... Oh, mercy. 9-1. Oh, 9-2. All right, end game, and we lose 9-2. Both of our goalies had a bad game. Yeah, that's the understatement of the year.
And that, did you mention the new post-game report?
Yes, I
you're
did.
Presumably looking at it right now?
Yeah, I actually went through it already to get the sound done. But,
yep.
Oh, boy, that is... Matt Dumba had a 30 defensive game rating.
Wow. We upped the game ratings a little bit for forwards, but
Alex
I was
Tuck
going to say they're actually probably still a little too generous for defensemen. That kind of disproves that.
21 on defensive game rating. Shea Theodore, 27
wow,
defensive game rating. Okay, let's maybe go look at our tactics. John Klingberg had a great game. He had 6 points. Yeah, I'd say he had a good game. Whew. I don't even know what to change on that. Maybe we'll try slowing down.
I'd just move on to the next one and maybe write this off, and if it happens regularly, then start worrying about it.
4 goals, 1 goal. Ooh.
Yeah, that's not a great way to start things out for the franchise.
Yeah. All right, sim game, and we lose 4-1. Nobody had a bad game again. That's good, I guess. But we still give up 3 goals in the first period, a goal in the second period, and only get 1 back in third. That stings. And Eric Hall is now day-to-day, but he can still play. So we get outshot 13-3 in the first 2 games. I don't know what else to say there. But you know what? I think we're going to call it. We've been streaming for coming up close to about an hour and 40 minutes. So I think this is where we'll stop for now. I'll be back again later tonight at approximately 8 p.m. Eastern, maybe a little bit after that, but right around then. You can find this stream.
So I can go sleep now?
Yeah, it'll be archived on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/OOTPdevelopments. You can find us on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/franchise-hockey-manager. On Twitter, we're @franchise-hockey. You can also come to our official website and order the game through ootpdevelopments.com, which will take you to our Accelerate page and get access to the beta. Or if you want to wait for the Steam version is released Friday, October 6th. There will be a launch discount for the same price as the pre-order discount on Accelerate as well. So you can get it for $35.99 US dollars. Jeff, did I miss anything?
I don't think so, although I'm trying to do about 8 different things at once, so I may be wrong.
All right. Well, I think that's most things. If you have any further questions, again, come on down to our official website or hit us up on one of our social media pages. And we will be back again tonight furthering this Las Vegas campaign if we somehow don't get fired. which fingers crossed we don't. And we will talk to you again very soon. So thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you again tonight.